right, everyone, we are rocking. So it looks like that perspective of where they want to take it is, let's see, green screen this, up. Meteorologist Jane, here we have the market rising today off of Trump news that the tariffs are going to be cut, but maybe not with India. And that might be that little downturn right here for India. I'm just kidding. I feel like a meteorologist right there. All right, let's get this going. So today is a power number day. If you know numerology, we are at 22 today. All right, 631, 17, 564, 10, 219, 73, 441, 81. And yeah, you know what? We saw that the market did that pullback just like they showed on the cover of The Economist, right? It was a pretty hefty pullback. But one, those are our limits. Where's our Economist cover? Here we go. Pull it back, spring it forward. Does that look anything like what we've seen over the SPY in the past couple days? Pull it back, slingshot it forward. Yes, it does. Well, at least to me. I don't know. Maybe not to you, but definitely does look like that to me. All right. Got the cleaner going in the background because I was having some issues. Opening up some software. Figured it out though, no problem. All right. Who's ready? Just 10 more days till my birthday. I'll be a cool 29. Psych! That means I was working in the stock market when I was 4. I'm a goofball this morning. I think it's because the coffee has not really kicked in. All right. Beautiful. So we've got some crazy ones moving today. We got Pfizer. We got PLTR. Of course, we'll check our regulars. Nvda. Probably advancing because everything is. So Nvda is advancing. Not earnings. Let me see what other earnings are going on over here. Pfizer, PLTR. What is D up? We'll check that one out. DD is DD Dunkin' Donuts. I feel like that's Dunkin' Donuts. I feel like I need an extra night of sleep. How about you guys? Anybody else feel like that? You do need an extra night of sleep. Also, I feel like my head's cut off. Let's do that. All right. If you're on the live stream, hit a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and drop me a line that the audio is okay, you can hear me, and all is good with your morning so far. All right. All right, our daily POC down still at 144.40. It is not earnings. Let me just go like this, make sure there's no bold going on here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, let's go to Pfizer. Pfizerizer. All right, 24 for Pfizer. PLTR, rocket ship. Who's on the rocket ship with me? Who's riding it? Riding that rocket ship, PLTR. Two great ones, PLTR and Reddit. Let's check out what Reddit's doing too. Had great advancements yesterday too. Oh, pulling back a bit today. No problemo. Big guys are at 194.45. All right. DD. Is DD Dunkin' Donuts? Great day, Lorenzo. No, DuPont. Oh, it's DuPont. Lemonade. What is lemonade? Finance. They are advancing today to 10% earnings. Oh, we have a lower float there. Did you have any that you're checking out, Lorenzo? I appreciate you letting me know that the chat is working. Thank you, thank you. I don't like it when I am not able to know that it's working or not. So thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to Tessie. Tessie, advancing. But we're still below the big money, right? They're just sort of taking it between these two levels. Boom, boom, almost, and almost to that low down there. So it's sort of going a bit sideways right here at the moment. So we'll put it on. Does tend to have good moves. Does tend to be fairly good for day trading. Can be volatile though, right? Big money's at 320.99. Oh, you used to live in Claymont, Delaware. Are you talking about the stock ODD? When you did it without, as a leak play. Great day, Julie. I know, right? Fall sweater. It's 57 degrees up here. I'm still in Celsius, Fahrenheit. I've been in Fahrenheit the entire time I've lived in Canada. Kind of what you know when you grow up. I think that sticks. Yes, I know Claymont, Delaware. I know Delaware well. I grew up in Maryland and DC area. All right, let's look at the down gapping mess, messy mess. This whole HIMS had a major drop, 12%. Off of earnings. Great day, peaceful trader. CRISPR technology with mRNA. I remember when they were talking about CRISPR like years ago. And I mean, let's see, when it was down here. And then it skyrocketed to 220. Of course, 2020, right? This looks like the mRNA arena is done for CRISPR. It is a small world, very small world. Well, especially, you know, when you've lived a lot of different places, it becomes smaller. Then you start talking about things, talking about locations, and, you know, oh yeah, I've been there, I've done that, yeah. Have you ever been to the Hers factory, Lorenzo? That's fun. Novartis. Nvda Semiconductor. C'est pas bon for Nvda. Off of earnings. Not good. Not good. Dropping it like it's not hot anymore. Like it's a lead weight. Or like somebody discovered that their gold was really painted iron. little Novo Nordisk downward gap as well. Now when we look overall, the indexes are up. So the down gapping stocks advancing and declining. It's kind of interesting because we're seeing the majors are still being catapulted forward while we have some pretty nasty corrections on other ones. Let's go into Coiny, my favorite Coiny. There you go, Coin Tankeroni. We'll also check out what else is Coin tied to, everybody? What else can you use Coin to trade? So this is the third day. If there's no bottom put in over here, you know what? I never went to the Hershey's factory, and I never did Groundhog Day too. That's Pakistani Phil. When I lived in Philly, I need to do the Hershey's factory trip, but they've closed it down. They moved most of their production to Mexico. Right? All right. So let me tweet out what we're covering here. Oh yeah. Forgot to pin it. So why did I put up the different background today? Because basically the catapult move from the pullback to me is saying, hey, this is our direction now. So in doing that, just blocking some spam on Twitter. Okay. In doing that, we see that the big guys are still below us. We'll double check it with all the indexes, but everything is advancing. Let's see, 441. Okay, we're still Dow, 442. We're still below there. The Russell, 222, 209, and 223.50. We're still below over there. So we still have a bit of divergence, but on the really big ones, we can see that the big money is still below us. So a bit still cautionary, but I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling bullish, especially if we can break out of this trend line, up close above 635. All right, let me post out what we are going to be talking about today. So you might go, Jane, why do I even care, right? I know, I would say, why would I want to watch this person? Why would I want to take my time? Well, I have been in the stock market for 25 years and I'm still here. And I have run the gamut of studying long-term swing trading, options trading, day trading, and I'm here to help you in your journey, basically. It's not easy. I was laid off, which my first layoff took me away from the market. The second layoff brought me back. And so I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to, you know, crash on people's couches. That was before all of this good stuff. So I've been there. I've had the journey. I know what it's like. And it's not fun when you're trying to figure things out and make ends meet. And so I want to help people. So that's why I'm here in the mornings. Sometimes I'm a little sleepy. Sometimes I'm a little wild and crazy. But we're here to do this together. All right. So let's get into the crypto segment, right? Also, if you guys like what I'm talking about, simply type in carpeprofit.com. It'll bring you to this page. And if you'd like to sign up for coaching, right there, terminology video and how to trade like a billionaire ebook, all about what I'm talking about today, how to put it onto your chart. It's $11. All right, so I usually start off with crypto to get warmed up, go slowly. So the big money of the world runs the world, also runs the stock market. So wherever that big money is positioned, you're going to see that the market will move. Great day, Coach Ruben. So when you are below that big money level, it means they were usually selling. If it goes above, like we just saw for the SPY and the Qs, usually buying, right? So it's a great time to be a follower when you see where the big money is taking the price action in the market. There's only one thing you can ever control in life, and that is your reaction to anything and everything, right? Everything else is out of your control. So in a trade, if the price goes against you, it's your reaction that will prove to be a profitable trade or not. If you see that the big money is above you and you do not sell and you are long, a loss is inevitable because they've sold it, right? And it's a matter of how big do you want that loss to be? How fast do you want that reaction of getting out to be? All right, off of the soapbox. Right here, the big money daily point of control for Bitcoin is at 117,873 and 38 cents. That has not changed. For intraday, for trading just today, day trading, I'm looking to see what's happened during today's trading day. So for crypto, forex, commodities, and futures, that starts last night. That's why I back it up. Excuse me for scratching the mic there. I back it up to see for today, intraday level is 114,354 and 1 penny. All right, let's do Ethereum. So we'll look at the levels and then we'll map out some trades. All right, so Ethereum 37.45, that has not changed. The intraday level, this yellow and red, 36.74 and 96 cents. All right. XRP 344.81. Yep, that has not changed. Intraday level 303.75. All right, let's go to Doge. If you all have any stocks or cryptos that you'd like to have me check out, put it in the chat. Happy to go over it. I'm also going to go over UVXY, VXX, and UVIX. Let's put that over here because those are important to see where we're going in the market. All right, they moved the Doge level to 0.20175 yesterday. All right, intraday level, we're at 0.20647. 0.20647. 647, not 3. There we go. All right, and let's look at Solana. Solana, they moved it down to 162.63. It has bounced since then. And over here, 168.14 for the intraday level. All right, time to put down the coffee. Let's get into this. Let's set up trade potentials for Bitcoin. All right, we've seen that 70% of today's volume is down below 114,340 and 37 cents and 114,644. So we're hanging out up above. I'm going to put it 115, even round number right there. Big benchmark in people's brains. There's psychology. There's so much psychology in trading. And so you have to think of who you're trading against and what is their mindset, right? Where would they get out? Why would they get out there? What's their max pain, right? Make it almost boring, right? Okay, 114, 100, and 115. There we go. All right, let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum are 70% below, okay, 3642.78 and 36494 and 48 cents. So let's put up here at 3,700 and 3640. Pretty easy. They might bring it down here. You can see they like this 161 exponential, so that might be a stopping point, or it might be the 200 or the 425 down here. I'm really sleepy. Totally missed typing today. Please tell me if you see a mistake. I will happily correct it. I don't want to mess people up. So if you see it, tell me about it, please. I'm human. I make mistakes. All right. So it looks kind of like an inverted head and shoulders, right? A buy here, drop down, and now they're somewhat holding this level. If they can hold the 299, maybe we're going to see a catapult move once we break above 324 on the daily. So let's say below 3.02, potential short trade. The long trade is going to be a bit more difficult today because we don't have a lot of great areas until we get up above 313, and then you've got 3 cents, right? You're looking at maybe 1 cent here. If we put it right there, I'm going to do 3.075. So the short trade looks a little bit more profitable if it goes down than the long trade, just based on the chart setup at the moment. And the big money is above us, 302 and 3075 there. So we can see big money for these 3 cryptos is above us. Calling it now, crypto Bitcoin crash in 26. Been saying it's coming. It is the biggest Ponzi scheme on the planet. Buy a digital file worth $115,000. It's like trading cards, right? They give it value because somebody has paid for it at that price. But really, all it is a digital file. People are buying and selling digital files. Ooh, cancel. I messed that one up. 0.2096. There we go, that looks better. All right, so 0.20150, 0.20960. All right, and you know what? It kind of makes you step back and think, if they can project and get people to buy a digital file for $115,000, and you have these different currencies, right? Let me go here so I can see what I'm talking about, and you guys can see it. So we have this piece of paper and this piece of plastic, and they say this plastic is worth $5 and this paper is worth $1. So they're doing the same thing with Bitcoin. And at what point will they say, oh, it's worth nothing, right? Or, oh, the server has shut down, and then nobody can touch it. Nobody has access to that so-called digital file. What happens when you break your phone and the screen breaks and you can't access anything? That could be the Bitcoin network, right? 166.50 here and 172.50. Let's make it nice and clear, easy trades there. What do you guys think? What do you think of my Bitcoin analysis, crypto analysis? You guys like that? You go, Jane, you know what? That doesn't really make sense. You know, they're talking about it. This is the way of the future. This is the way they're going to solve the financial problems. No, they've been trying it for 9 years, since 2016. It's not going to work. Not going to work. In my opinion, right? That's just my opinion. So I'm going to try to warn people the best way I can. People can do what they'd like with the information. All right, let's get into Nvidia. I might gather some hate for that, and it's totally okay. I'd rather help people with what I clearly see than just try to be everybody's friend. It doesn't work anyways. People have opinions. Even if you try to be the perfect person for everybody else, it doesn't work. Right? 181.60 and 180.40 for Nvidia today. All right. And let's come on over. Let's check our daily short volume for Nvidia. 59%. Let's go to Phaser. 40%. PLTR. 59% as well. Woohoo! Oop. Love it. Let me see. I don't know. Excuse me, how far back in I got in on PLTR. What I love to do for my longer term is I'll get into swing trade, right? And then I will take out my initial investment and leave the profits and just let them grow. And it is just crazy. Let's see if I have it on the PLTR chart here. I got in long, there we go. No, did I get in at 73.96? I think I got in before that. Hold on. It's got a new phone cover. Very excited about that. Sometimes it's a little hard to open stuff though. Here, where did it, what was my entry? PLTR. Original cost. $32.51. I gotta put that on here. Right here, the breakout. $32.51. All right. Let's go to PFE. Great day, Jaspreet. I hope you're having a good one. All right, so Pfizer, let's just look at the daily here. Is this a type of chart that you really want to get into, right? It's like, you can see just looking at the trend lines, right? If you look at the trend lines, that's telling me, hey, those aren't even trend lines, excuse me. Those are moving averages, but they tell you the trend. That's why I said trend lines, because to me, this is going to tell me that this is in a downward drop, right? And every time it hits the 161, 200, it pretty much is rejecting. So until it can really hold above, like 26 would have been that potential. If it could hold 26 here, right now, yes, we are setting higher lows in the interim. However, we're still pretty much in this downward nastiness, right? It had a good run in 22, but for now, it's not looking super amazing. I will set this up though. So let's set this up and see. There's a potential for this to megaphone out. Right? We got that there. You've been reading our book and you have a question. What is earnings date for stock? You're completely new and was trying to set up Tradingview. So Jaspreet, do you see how it has the E right here? This is the earnings date. So the earnings date in the States, to be listed on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, you have to follow accounting principles that they dictate. And that requires them to release their earnings once every quarter. Earnings is a volatile time that allows for good trading. Right now, Pfizer just had earnings today. Green, meaning that they have had positive results of their earnings, better than expected. However, they could have positive results, but the forward guidance is negative and it could drop. Does that make sense to you? All right. So, back to Pfizer over here. And let's set up a trade. 24.20. Ooh la la. Where did I just move? Let's undo whatever I just did, because I didn't mean to do it. There we go. Make sense? Okay, so let's put this down here. 23. The short trade is not looking awesome because look at all these little speed bumps, roadblocks. Oh, here, right click, settings, and then events, right here, earnings. So right click on your chart, bottom of the list, settings and events, and make sure that that earnings is turned on. There we go. Alrighty. All right, it's not the best. Let's do 78, 23.78. I don't really like the short trade, but I always map out a short trade. But this one doesn't have the super spectacular short trade to the downside. Granted, it's earnings and it's moving to the upside. PLTR, rocket ship. We need little Elon Musk's, what's it called? What's his rocket company called? No, New Horizon is Amazon. 169.80 over here. This one is just squeezing and squeezing. Oh yeah, 59% of that volume yesterday is not feeling so pretty, is it? Let's go back over here. PLTR, what was our volume yesterday? Let's see how many people are feeling the pain this morning. Ooh, 20 million are feeling the pain this morning. This could be spicy and dicey this morning. All right, 172, and if 172 breaks, I'm gonna put it 172.50. I think it's gonna get there before pre-market, so just be aware. But 169.80 and 172.50, this one looks like it wants to continue, in my opinion, because let me show you the reason why. The reason why is because after earnings right here, we had the big money level and it's continuing, and look, it's about to test the high from last night over here. Once that happens, that's going to be people's mental stop. Oh my gosh, I got to get out as a short because this is going to continue to go higher. Well, yeah, dumbass. Sorry if you're short. But 59% of the volume yesterday, 20 million people shorted, and it gapped up $11. 20 million shares are down in those people's pockets. 11 million. That would be $220 million loss for those shorts. So they want to stop that loss. So it's going to run. Short squeeze. Thank you. Love it. All right, let's do lemonade. I love short squeezes. All right, let's put this up here. 41.50 for lemonade. Or 38, how high can I bring this? 38.76 right there. I hope I didn't offend anybody that's short PLTR, but shorting or being long during earnings is very risky, very risky. All right, here we go. 311 for Tesla, potential long trade. And let's do 309.80 here. All right. Let's also check out MicroStrategy. Is it advancing today? Nope, declining just like Coinbase. So we'll set up a quick little trade setup. All right, big money's at 388.01. The 90, or sorry, set correction. Let's advance it a little further. See if they really did sell there. Yeah, they moved it from down here up here. Well, not for sure that they sold. I'm going to just do one more candle so that I eliminate that upper one from a late print reporting from yesterday. 388.50. And we got to go below. 384.80. Oh, it's not even there. All right, let's do Coinbase. Okay, Laura, what time is it? Where am I? 8:14. Okay, perfect. We have time. Oh, this looks like it's going to be a bear doji sandwich. Looks like we might have a bigger drop for Coinbase and Bitcoin and all that good stuff based off of their positioning. All right, so you see how we have this big money level since earnings is up here at 317.99. Today's intraday level, that's moved, hold on, 317.99. 316.81. I would say you got to go above all of this before you can have a long trade. Why would you like to go against the big guys? What do you think is going to happen if you go against the big guys? Who's going to win? Who is going to win? Unless everybody stands up and Roaring Kitty styles it, but still that's not enough money, right? The big guys have even more money. So it's very hard when people stand up though, and then they say, well, yeah, anyway. In trading, it doesn't work going against them. It's better to follow them. You're going to profit with them once you understand what they're doing and you see where their money is. Look, it came down to that 33 exponential. Do you think they're going to move this one higher? After it hit a 33 bounce? A 33 bounce. It's like Route 66. Did you hit the 33? You did? Okay, great. We can take it off now. We can check that off of our list and move it higher. So let's put this up above 57, 54.40, and 57 there. This one has 199 million in the float, so no big deal. CRISPR, first one of mRNA technology to be established in the market. I remember when they were talking about this years ago, and I mean years, like 2017. So CRISPR, you know, mRNA technology has been around for quite a while. Not anything new to the marketplace. 51.50. All right, sound. Well, we will check it out on the 7th. Remind me on the 7th, okay? Because I'm not into saying hold it through earnings, because that can create some issues for people, right? If it crashes and goes the other way, it's not so pretty. And I don't like to say hold it through earnings. But I respect your opinion. Respect it 100%. I just don't want people to get in trouble. All right, let's bring it down here. I really want to bring it all the way down. I know you did an amazing job. Did you profit off of it, Lorenzo? Did you profit off of it? All right, 640 here for Nvda semiconductor. 640 and 680. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more of. Let's go to the Nvda ETF. Do we have ETFs? Funds? No. Amazing. That's even more validating, right? Is when you can profit off of it. Aw, you're doing all the work. You are doing all the work, Lorenzo. All right, I don't see the Nvda ETF. I'll find it later. Actually, you know what? I'll find it now. Nvda ETF. I was teaching yesterday, so I was talking about settlements. There we go. iShares Nvda ETF. This is what I want. What is the ticker? Nvda. Makes sense, right? Let's see what's going on with Nvda. All right. Let's go back from July here. This one's probably going to be volatile based off of based off of tariffs. So they sold at $54.94. Let's make this a pinkety. Pinkety, drinkety. I have to, let's see if I can find it. I'm going to look for that down here. Pinkety, drinkety video. It's really funny, so I might have to show that to you guys. Here it is, here it is. Oh my goodness, it's 5 years old. Let's see. Choose how you watch it. Watch it here. Okay, here. Hopefully they don't. So it's right here. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put it in the chat. How about that? Let's go to YouTube. Pinkety drinkety. Sorry, I just got distracted. Did you say cafe au lait? No, this is the one. Right here. All right. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's share it. No, I want to share it. Oh, pause. Share. I want to share it with you guys. Pause. This is so funny. I just don't want to get a copyright thing for sharing it. Okay. There we go. All these copyrights. I got a flagged on TikTok and just doing my own stuff. I was showing my opinion on the covers of Barron's, blue skies ahead. I called it saying, hey, yeah, we're going to have this catapult move. And, you know, they flagged me for copying stuff. I'm pissed. Free speech is not so free anymore. Depends on who owns it, though, right? Who owns TikTok? Gotta look at it that way. All right, so maybe they're gonna bring this back down to the 51.29 level. That's our January level. They sold in April, they sold in July. So I would watch 51.29. Maybe 51.29 would be a good investment point. Maybe that's where they're looking to take it for the India tariff. Not regulations, but what's the word I'm trying to say? So we have earnings tomorrow for Novo Nordisk. So this is a pre-earnings trade. Put that there. After hours pre-market tomorrow. My dad would have been, let's see, he was born in 41. He would have been 84 tomorrow. But he had 80 and a half years of life. 47.50. Let's do the 47.50 mark and 48.40. All right, let's go to the indexes. But before we do that, let's go to our friend VXX. We talked about this yesterday quite a bit, right? So here is VXX. Here's where the big money is. I said yesterday, watch this. This is influential to see if we close above this. They hit the 33, rejected, and continued to drop it down. This is an inverse indicator. So if we see that this moves down, market can move up. That's why I also put it on the list yesterday. Not so much as to trade, but to watch the levels, because if it were to drop, then we'd say, hey, the market is likely going to move up. UVXY as well, bigger volume, and again 17.13 is that level to watch. Big volume came in there and it rejected. Continuation move to the upside in my opinion. Also UVIX, same thing, continuation move to the upside, because I swear I put it on. Didn't you guys see me put it on yesterday? We'll put it on over here. Boom. 1990, let's save that, and it rejected. So to me, that says, hey, we're likely moving to the upside. The fear is gone, all that good stuff. However, on these over here, maybe they're just getting to be more greedy. Like I said, they place big trades, they can take it down, and then they can skyrocket it up. Sometimes it takes 3 to 4 days, 5 days, sometimes it takes 3 months, like silver and gold. But we can see, hey, we are getting close to testing that level again. We are still technically below, so I still technically have to be a bear on it until we go above. But when we get closer, I get more cautious. Make sense? That means they could be positioning to take it down further or to blow it right on through. They were busy buying. So 441.80 and 442.60. Does that make sense to you all? My train of thought of the greedies. Down in the 161, 200, bounce reverse. Oh yeah, they were really greedy here. Boom! Look at that, 212 to 220. I hope you all profited. I love hearing success stories like Lorenzo, like Julie, who's been rocking it. All right. 220 over here. We have the 70% here, so I want to stay outside of that. And 221. 221. All right, the Qs. Now, typical technical analysis pattern is when there's a trend line break, it'll come back, it'll test it. So this point up here would be that reversal rollover. That's a pretty high extreme move. We did bounce off of the 33. We are above the big money. So this does look like continuation move, especially with the talks of, hey, let's get a new Fed chair and drop interest rates, which is spectacular. Many times the stock market will react to something before it happens. That's the chatter, so they're reacting to the chatter. Okay, 565.50 and 566.60. Everything is below there. All right, on the SPY, people might go, what on earth are those crazy yellow lines? That's where they've moved it all around. A lot of times they just leave it, boom, they drop it down, and then they bring it up higher, right? Right before it broke out, they bought more. They sold, bought, and bought. They're always in the interest of making money. So if you just follow them, guess what? You will too. Figure it out and then profit, right, Lorenzo? 632. 632 for potential short on the SPY and 632.80. All right. I hope you all have enjoyed my live stream. I'll be live with you again tomorrow and Thursday. Friday will not. I have a family event that I have to take care of. So have an amazing trading day. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Check out my website, carpeprofit.com. And don't just have a good day. Have a great day. Bye for now.